Hi everyone, it's IAmSadeChampagne.
And Veronika and I.
We are here with a brand new video in our Woman to Woman Diaries. Today we're going to be talking about your voice is powerful. Your voice is powerful. My dear friend and one of my biggest inspirations, Greg Henry, says, "Don't ever underestimate what you have to say and how beautiful it may be. Everybody has something valuable to say." Don't ever underestimate what you have to say and how beautiful it may be. Everybody has something valuable to say. I'm going to pass it over to Veronika.
Thank you, Sade. I just wanted to share a little bit about, about me learning to speak up and me learning to use my voice. And first of all, when I was younger, apparently I started speaking at a really young age, or saying words at a really young age. So I've always been a really big talker, and I've always been pretty social, and was never scared to go up to people and make friends with them. A lot of times my teacher would call me the social butterfly of the class and whatnot, but something happened along the way when I was younger, to maybe like when I was in my 20s, I'd like to say, where I started feeling like I couldn't really use my voice. I couldn't really speak up. And what I was wanting to say wasn't valid and possibly not even worth saying or even good enough. And it got to a point where there was a couple of years that this was happening where my voice was physically going in and out of nowhere. I would literally start to get raspy, and it would get to a point where my voice, when I would try to speak, nothing would come out. And, I didn't understand why this was happening. I'd try natural stuff to try to make it come back, and sometimes it would work, but the episodes never stopped. And until when I started meeting with my best friend Sade, this is how we first became friends. I asked her, I was like, would you mind mentoring me? Because one of my desires is to speak in front of people and encourage people. And I just loved and admired, what she was doing and how she was doing it. And she said, absolutely, let's meet at Starbucks. So we met at Starbucks, and one of the first things she told me is, first of all, I need you to speak up. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, speak louder, speak my feelings, like what I'm feeling? She's like, no, you're whispering. I need you to speak up.
I need you to speak up. Said it just like that.
And I was like, okay. And I didn't even realize, but I was whispering, I was like, she couldn't hear me. And because of the things I was going through at the time, and just, how I was feeling, like it even got to a point where I was like, whispering when I talk, especially about certain things, stuff that I wanted to speak about, but I couldn't, or I felt like I couldn't. And, that was not really my character. Like, I come from a family where we talk loud. We can tend to get loud, and especially when my whole family gets together, we're loud, we have loud voices. And so, because of lies I was believing at the time, it got to a point where I wasn't even able to use my voice, and it was physically, going away. And the more I got together with Sade, and she taught me, she would encourage me and telling me that my voice matters and what I have to say matters, and that it's important for me to speak up. And, I would tell her, am I getting too loud? And she's like, no, I want you to get louder, like speak louder. And, I was just hearing the opposite of what I was believing, and the whole time it was true. She wasn't lying to me, she was seeing something in me that at the moment I couldn't see, but was always there. And ever since that, I started practicing using my voice and speaking up. I haven't got any of those episodes where my voice completely goes or gets raspy in years,
Wow.
So something happened in the physical that I was believing inside, spiritually, or in me. A lie that I was believing, that, what I had to say wasn't valid. I was speaking too loud or too much. I talked too much. I repeated myself too much. Like all these lies, that would come to my mind that I would start to believe and partner with, for me, it got to a point where my voice was physically coming in and out. So with that being said, I just really want to encourage you that, you have a voice for a reason. We were given a voice for a reason. It's important to speak up. What you have to say is important. What you're feeling, what you're thinking is there for a reason. So you have a voice, so speak up and be confident in what you have to say. And also, healthy communication, that's something else we can get into a little bit more, and we actually do in our recording voice memo or segment, I should say.
Yes.
Having healthy communication is really important too. And yeah, just to be confident again in what you have to say. Your voice matters. You were given a voice for a reason, so just step out and use it because your voice is beautiful and it matters and it means something. Not only could you learn something from it, but people around you get to hear what you have to say, and it can also benefit them. So yeah, so I just wanted to encourage you to use your voice. It's important, and just to speak up.
Yes, and what Veronica's sharing is so huge because, we live in a world, especially as women and girls, it's always trying to shrink us. Shrink, 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 until we begin to believe that that's who we are supposed to be. But it's not the truth. We were created to be effervescent. We were created to be bright and bold, to stand out, and to be able to feel confident in that and feel secure in that and have the freedom to grow and to be able to transform. And so we want to encourage you in that. Your voice is powerful. We believe in you. Most importantly, God believes in you. And so start speaking up. And, people aren't always going to respond the way you want them to when you start speaking up. And sometimes people are going to be upset. They're going to be frustrated, especially if they're used to you being a little cat and mouse and woo, 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 I'm shy, I can't speak up. And when you start speaking up, they may not be used to that. But that's not your problem. You just are to be exactly who God created you to be, and you can walk in the fullness of that. He will empower you. He will strengthen you, and everything else will work itself out. We just got to let the chips fall where they may. We love you.
We love you. Bye.